Everybody, David Kurz coming back to you with another Real Talk Conference type conversation. So today I'm in Havana, Cuba, and I'm sitting with my boy here, Elio, who has been my tour guide all day, who's been fantastic, by the way. He's got a lot of great stories, got a lot of good stuff going on. He tells a lot of lies, I'm gonna be honest with you, so I want to start the conversation that way. But we did visit a lot of important places in Havana. We learned a lot about the history in Havana. We learned a lot about the relations and the conversations that people have here in Havana about the United States, about Canada, about Russia, about everything that happens around the world and how it affects the economy in Havana. So I want to ask you a simple question. You were born, raised, and lived here your entire life,
yes.
Right? Okay. So I need to ask you, what keeps your pride, your happiness, your pride in country with all the news out there of everything that's happening through Fidel, through his brother, through everybody, to be able to say, I'm proud to be Cuban, I'm happy to stay here, and I'm going to live here till I die?
First of all, I would love to travel one day outside Cuba, but I don't picture myself living outside Cuba. This is where I belong to. And as you said before, I'm very, very proud, extremely proud of being Cuban. All the education I received in Cuba, in my country, all the heritage that I can transmit to future generations. And basically, I mean, I'm a product of a revolution. Born and raised with the revolution. My education was all provided here. I have never ever been outside Cuba. One day I might be able to travel. But so far, man, I think I have a perfect job. The best job in the world.
What happens if you travel and you see other parts of the world and you say, wow, this is insane? Like for me, right?
I would love to travel and I would love to have that experience. Wow, this is insane. But you know what? I will always be coming back to my country to share with family and friends about that insanity that I've seen outside, about these incredible places, incredible landscapes, incredible stories I have been here outside Cuba. And this is where I belong to. I don't picture Elio living in any other country because this is...
So, and because I live in Miami, right? So many people travel out of Cuba to come to Miami. They want to escape, right? Why are those people trying to escape and you are happy to live here?
All these people that are trying to go to other countries. And the reason for that is no longer a political issue. It's an economic issue. These people are going to other countries to be able to spread their wings. But you know what? I was able to spread my wings in my country. I don't need to go to another country to find a nice job. As I was saying before, I mean, I think I have a good job, and from the personal point of view, I think it's the best job in the world. There is something that you said, I'm very proud of my country, my people, and I have the opportunity to show my beautiful country to people that visit us. So I'll try to be like an ambassador on behalf of my people with the people that are coming to Cuba.
So I often talk about entrepreneurship, right, on my show, and I talk about people moving into entrepreneurship, and I look at you and I see that you have a job, but you also earn a lot of tips. You know, there's other income coming other than whatever income you earn monthly, right? And so would you consider that an opportunity in Cuba? Would you say that everyone has that same opportunity?
Well, everyone has the same opportunity to study. When I saw the chance in the future, I realized that the future of Cuba will be through tourism. But there were some of the people that their choices was to be sitting in a corner and not to do anything, not to study. While I was studying hard to study English, or I was working hard, extra time to be able to pay for my Italian lessons. I speak, I'm fluent in English and Italian. So those people, their choices was to stay in that corner and do nothing. So basically nowadays they are harvesting what they planted years back. Now I'm harvesting what I planted years back with my hard work.
How much does it cost to go to the university here?
How much does it cost to go to university in Cuba? Zero. Nothing, nada.
So I want to ask you that. So you took the initiative and you said, you know what, I'm going to go to school. I don't have to pay anything. This is great. I was in the military, right, in America, and the American military pays 100% of your education. So I took advantage too. I have a master's degree because it was free. And so I took advantage of that. But do you find that a large population now said they kind of take it for granted? Like, it's free.
Well, in a way, we had a similar story, because when I was a student, I took it for granted, meaning that I didn't want to study. That's the main reason why I could not get a career. on the first place. And that's the main reason why I was drafted by the Army. In Cuba, it's compulsory once you reach 18 years old, and that's the main reason why I could not go straight to university. But good behavior on the military service, and then there is some similar thing that they will give you a second chance in the Army if you have a good behavior, and then you're able to get back to university. And that's what I did. And basically, yes, man. Sometimes the kids in Cuba, they don't realize that that's a unique gift.
So in America, we call that a millennial problem, right? So do you find the same thing happening here?
Exactly the same. Exactly the same. My kids, for instance,
our kids are taking things for granted and not moving forward.
Exactly the same. Exactly the same in Cuba. I mean, I have a 27-year-old daughter, I have a 25-year-old daughter, I have a 21-year-old boy. None of them really decided to go to university.
So what do they do? Like, what is their future like in Cuba?
My oldest daughter, she's working as a waitress, but at the same time, she's having a training as a sommelier. My older daughter, she has a very small business as a beauty parlor. And the boy, he just finished the Army, and now he started working as an accountant.
Okay, so they have some careers happening.
Yes, man, in a way, but not university careers.
Right. And what? So in the U.S., being an accountant is a university career. So what's considered like a university career here in Cuba?
Well, when you go and you spend 5 years learning something at the university, and then you put that into practice.
Right. And I always have people that come to America, a lot of like Cubans that leave Cuba and come to America, and they'll say, I was a doctor in Cuba, but now, you know, my certifications are not the same. So, for instance, we just sold the house to a beautiful family. The guy is 65 years old. He just left Cuba 5 years ago. 5 years. And he was a surgeon here, but in Miami, he's a surgical technician, which means he's just the helper, right? But still, he has a great job. He made a life for himself. He just bought his first house for his family. Like, he's making a life for himself. Could he have done that here? Why leave?
Being a doctor, no. I mean, as I told you before, all the people that are living in Cuba now, they're motivated because of economic reasons.
Right.
So that way, people will be having better jobs, will be having bigger salaries, and they'll be able to basically buy whatever they would like to.
All right, so
but it's not related with any political motivation. So you actually
right, the political motivation is out the door, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So here's my final question for you, right? Do you believe that the lift on the embargo has changed life in Cuba for the better?
Well, honestly, the day that they lift the embargo, it will be like that. But the embargo is not being lifted. The embargo is still there. Pieces of embargo, yes, but not the whole embargo, but it's still there.
So if we lifted it, if
you lift embargo and you lift it all at once, I would be very scared. Because my personal perception is that we're not ready for the embargo to be lifted. If they would like to do it in a nice way, they will do it gradually.
Pieces by pieces.
Because
do you believe that's what's happening now? Like now Americans are allowed to visit, we're spending money here.
In the future, yes. With the current U.S. president, we don't know.
Right.
With the current U.S. president, we have to wait to the second term. And
to see what parts
and I don't know if you'll be putting this on the internet, it will be a big beep, but with that current president, he is crazy. So he could go one way or the other. He could be lifting the embargo to make history, or he could be keeping the embargo the way it is to make history.
Right.
So we don't know. We have to wait for the future and then see.
I had a great time with you today. My wife had a great time with you, which is behind the camera, by the way. And my friends had a great time with you. We had a great time. Thank you so much for giving us a tour of Havana. And now we are going to enjoy the rest of our bottle of Blue Havana, Blue Label.
There we go. Good stuff. Good stuff.
And we're gonna go enjoy the town because we're here. And thanks for this conversation, because this conversation is very different if I have it in the United States. If I ask these same questions to a Cuban American, I'll get very different answers. But you're here, you're living it here. The people over there are just interpreting what they hear, right? And so I would, as a final warning, just warn you against that. Yes, is our current president crazy? Probably. But he's a hell of a businessman. And whether you're pro-Trump or against Trump, or it doesn't even matter, what you hear in the media is what drives you. And so what people hear in Miami and the media about Cuba is what drives them, and everything you just told me goes against what we hear over there. So thank you for that, because now we get to put out on the internet someone who lives here, thrives here, works here, is an entrepreneur in a sense, went to university, works, makes great money, takes care of his family, has 3 kids, and does well in an island where we imagine everything is just horrible. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate
for the interview.
it. Thank you everybody for tuning in today. Watch it on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and everywhere else. We'll see you soon.